What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. Now that is what I'm talking about. That is what a performance by a Juventus football club should look like against an inferior Empoli squad. Was it perfect? No, but that's what I'm looking for, and it gives us a tiny semblance of hope that this ship can be righted by the end of the season. Stick with us. We'll fill you in. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconerizonechannel. My name is Justin Sofro, and today it is Saturday, October 22nd, 2022. Of course, I got your latest rundown of all things Juventus, all the news you care about each and every day. Before we do that, though, do me a solid favor, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and of course, hit that bell icon, stay notified for all of our latest videos. Now, we're just going to get into it now. We can talk about the match a little bit. Obviously, yesterday, though, I was very excited with what I saw in that second half. The first half, maybe a little bit more close to what we've seen in the past. Though Moise Kean getting that early score, it had me tightening all the areas that you would expect to be tightened after that, expecting an eventual collapse. The collapse never came. Great performances by some players, and then, of course, very good move for the future if Juventus can continue to perform like this. Am I going to pretend like Empoli are world beaters, that they are this great club, great squad that Juve came out and defeated? No, but at the same time, we've seen Juve lose to Monza, right? So we can at least take a little bit of pride, a little bit of happiness that Juve are looking like Juve should look against a team like Empoli. Let's keep it up, and it's all eyes on Max Allegri to make this happen throughout the rest of the season. All right, let's get into it, though, and let's go and give you some updates following the repercussions of what happened after the match. Well, first up, we open this up with the unfortunate news of Leandro Paredes, Gaston Edul, who's an Argentinian, I guess he's an Argentine reporter there for the Argentine national team. He covers this, saying that Leandro Paredes has been injured. He has a hamstring strain. 12 days of differentiated work is needed. I'm not going to go on a long tangent rant. You've heard enough of them from me on here on this channel. But if we're going to be honest, when do we look ourselves in the mirror and say, J Medical, whoever's working there, what's in the water, what's going on? Why do these guys continue to get injured, especially all these players that come from healthy situations? And once they're at Juve, it's a different story. Are they, we talk about all the time, are they training too hard? Or is it what they're eating? Is it a dietary thing? Is it the care that they're given? I don't know. Figure it out. Compare, contrast. Go somewhere else, see what they're doing right, and copy it. Come on, guys. All right, let's continue on, though. Well wishes to Paredes. Get better, get healthy. We'll see you back here. All right, let's continue on, though. Talk about one of our favorite players, a guy who I wish I would have seen play yesterday, but of course he played today, and it looks like that of Federico Chiesa. Today he played in a friendly match, basically set up for him to see how he does, how he plays, and how much better shape he is in recovering from that injury. Well, Giovanni Albanese is reporting that he had scored twice today in the 45-minute friendly game. Does that mean anything? No, not really, if we're being honest. But it's good. It's good that he was able to score, and hopefully he looked pretty healthy and pretty ready to get back to the main squad, because God knows Juve needs them. There's one thing that we do want to say, too, as well, for Federico Chiesa. It is unfortunate. I really wish I could have seen him play against Empoli. That would have been a situation that I would have been happy to see him play, especially in that second half where Juve were kind of gelling. It would have been nice to see him out there performing with his brothers there on the pitch. All right, but let's go ahead and continue this on and move it on and talk about another guy who I think I'm gonna have to bend this knee, and that is for this man, the Frenchman, Adrien Rabio. Another good performance from him. Optapala, though, dropping some stats for you all, saying that Adrien Rabio has scored 2 braces this season in the 2022-2023 all competitions for Juventus. He netted only 1 brace before in his entire career back in 2015 for PSG. Props to Adrien Rabio. Props to him taking off a little bit now. Am I going to say that this changes the tide of how I feel about Adrien Rabio staying with Juventus? Honestly, it really doesn't yet. If he can prove that he can continue to do this with some consistency, maybe. But I'm not there. I think there's still better ways to develop a squad moving forward. Though, at some point, you're going to need some guys who have had some kind of consistency, some kind of regularity with the club and with the squad, so that way you can continue to build off of them. Is Adrien Rabio potentially going to be one of those guys? I don't know. Also, we're going to have to look at those monetary figures when it comes down to any potential idea of a renewal of Rabio. All right, let's move it on, though. Some other players had some comments after the match of what they thought, how they felt moving in and moving in out and about this match and what it meant to them. First up, we're going to talk about Moise Kean, his commentary that he made. He said that we have to continue like this. Also, because we're working hard, the points we had are not enough. Now, every game we have will show how we did in this match, and we move on. We all looked each other in the face, even before the game. In the middle of the pitch, we told each other that we must not give up a meter and give everything for the fans for the jersey. I'll be honest, though, there was a part of me that when it first was starting up, I know I'm not the super rah-rah guy. I get it. If you want really just that guy to build you up, maybe I'm not the one. But I will say this. When I saw them come to the pitch in the middle early on, and they did their little, powwow, they did their little huddle, I cringed a little bit. I did. I was like, oh no, what is this? What is this? But maybe it's proving dividends. Maybe it's right. Maybe it's a different generation of players than maybe I grew up with, or you grew up with. Maybe if you're an older statesman like me, right? I know I'm not there yet, but you know what I mean. Especially when it comes to the sport. So if that's what they need, if you need the love 'em up mentality, give them the love 'em up mentality and move forward. If they're going to perform like this, let's do it. All right, let's continue on, though. Moise Kean, more commentary of what he had to say. If it wasn't for me, or it wasn't easy for me at the beginning because I struggled a bit anyway, but I had teammates who helped me a lot. I always put in the work, and despite what they said, the important thing is to show it on the pitch. The group does so much. I've been able to understand them. They have been there for me in a difficult time, and I hope to continue to help them. So, not really a lot to really say from there, but definitely good to see that the squad seems to be slowly building that chemistry and coming back together. One of the things we can definitely say that I worried about, and one of the things that was pretty apparent early on this season, especially during tumultuous times, maybe, or are we coming out of tumultuous times? I don't know. Anything could happen in a couple days. They could drop it. I mean, I don't care about Benfica. Let me be honest. Here on the channel. I don't care what happens in the Champions League. To me, it's already a lost cause. I care about the game against Lecce on Saturday. Again, a lower tier squad, but at the same time, you got to get it done, right? So as long as they can continue to look good in the Serie A, I'll be willing to give them their credit and their due. Does it mean a lot coming from me? No. But still, let's be honest. We'll see what happens. It's good to see these guys buying into Moise Kean. And hopefully Moise Kean, this becomes a thing of the future, things that we continue to see him maybe become a key piece for Juventus. If you know me, I love my Italian players. If Moise Kean can do that, thank you. Let's go. All right, let's continue on, though. Part 3 of what he had to say. This is actually more of a back and forth between a journalist. Kind of interesting. But a journalist asked him, so they said, in the first half, there was booing. Does that influence the game for the players? And Moise Kean asked, why did they boo? And somebody said, yes, some did. I didn't hear them. I was thinking about playing. I was thinking about helping my teammates. That's all. So, to me, that's good. I like that. I like that there's no vitriol. There is no whatever. There's no frustration, all that. It's just, I'm playing, I'm doing my game. That's a business mentality, and that's what we need. I know that there were some, maybe, what would they call them? Are they snaps or whatever it is, or whatever it is that they do. I'm sorry, it's different here in America. It's just straight booing. Well, I know they do it, was it snapping or something like that in Europe, basically doing that at Allegri when he was announced yesterday. So some things are going to take a while to change, if they do change, to be honest. All right, let's continue on, though. Manuel Locatelli, the man, had some commentary as well after the game. What did he have to say? Well, the most important thing is the attitude. When you put it on the pitch, the qualities come out. We have to restart from this attitude. Yes, I played a good game. I'm satisfied, but the important thing is to always to win. I know the expectations of me are high, and I give everything for the jersey, and I am ready to repay them. So, some nice comments over there from Locatelli. I like to see that. I like to see him having a good game. Because one thing we've seen him struggle time and time again. And then there's this second part that I really want to get to right now, and it's this commentary, where I guess somebody was asking if there was some kind of beef between him and Paredes. He goes, Paredes, we get on very well. He's a good guy. I like playing with him. We can do well together. I am happy with his arrival. Now, that one just kind of stuck out to me because I was wondering myself, is somebody trying to build up some kind of, drama behind the scenes between him and Paredes, and I don't get that. Like, to me, I think for the longest time, Manuel Locatelli's been playing out of position. I've seen people argue here recently that Manuel Locatelli is better as a regista. I do not believe that. While he may play it, and maybe he can be good in moments like we've seen here. Is that where he should be normally? I'd say no. I'd say he can play alongside Paredes, and they can have a fruitful partnership going in the future. So we'll see how that turns out. Just something I noted, something I wanted to comment on. As well as he goes on to say, UCL, we are better physically, we have a decisive game, and we have to think about winning. Then we will see how it goes. So if they can get it done, if they can, hopefully, Maccabi Haifa can do what they did to Juventus against the squad, against the PSGs and the Benficas, that remain, and we'll see what happens. But Juve can only do one thing at this point, is it's have a business mentality and move forward and do what they can, and hope the rest falls into place. All right, let's continue on, though, and now we have the final comments of the day, and the most important ones, if you ask me, coming from the head coach, Max Allegri. What did he have to say? Of course, I want to hear your all's opinions on what he had to say as well, so definitely make sure you leave those in the comment section down below throughout this video. All right. First up, he said, we are looking a little more like a team. Tonight, we had to confirm the win against Torino, and the boys did well. We suffered a little bit in the first half, then in the second half, we upped the tempo a little bit. They dropped a little bit, and we won. We were improving. Already, the fact that the team kept a different pace in the second half is a good sign. We had worked well this week, and now we have a crucial game. We will go out there to try to overturn the result. Again, I made my comments on the UCL, on Benfica. I think it's a lost cause. If they do something, if pieces fall into place, great. But at the same time right now, unfortunately, I think it is what it is, right? But some positive things I am hearing and seeing from him in Max Allegri's comments saying about pace, and we talked about it last week. I think a lot of people really commented on how Moise Kean and his pace and his physical fitness, maybe while we looked at it, we rolled our eyes at the idea that Moise Kean's physical fitness mattered. It actually kind of does right now, because as he's keeping up pace and he's helping this team to do this as well, you can kind of burn out the other teams that have lesser athletic qualities than maybe a guy like Moise Kean, maybe guys like me out there trying to run up and down the pitch, right? All right, let's continue on, though, with the second part of his comments. He goes on to say, Moise Kean had some difficulties and played a little. Then he got back into top condition, especially on a mental level, which is the most important thing. Tonight he scored a goal and had chances. I'm happy with him and with everyone. So definitely, I'm giving Moise Kean his props. I'm not ready to tear back into Moise Kean right now. I think he's a guy that hopefully can continue on this trend and stick with the club. Now let's talk about the other players that he talks about. He goes on to say, for the system of play with Cuadrado and Kostic on the outside, we have to exploit them as much as possible, especially against a team like Empoli. In the first half, we had less dribbling. Then in the second half, we were better. So obviously we saw Kostic help in delivering some key goal, with the goal for Moise Kean early on. If he can keep doing stuff like that, that's the reason he got him. I've been critical of him, but again, if he can start doing this, if he can start helping deliver cross stitches, then we'll be good to go. Cuadrado, I'm sorry, I'm still kind of stuck on the Cuadrado as a lost cause. I'm ready to move on from Cuadrado. I'm sorry, I'm not going to change that anytime soon. That's my personal opinion. All right, we move on. More commentary from Max Allegri. He goes on to say, Leandro Paredes arrived and was not in the best physical condition, which kind of like, I almost like fell back in my chair when I first read that. What? He was not in the best physical condition? He looked fine to me. Every time I saw him out there, did he have like fantastic performances every single game? No, but I thought he looked better than a lot of what Juventus players had already. So that one I'm kind of taken aback a little bit by. He goes on to say he played because he had others out. Yesterday, I told him he wouldn't play straight away because I needed his legs during the game. Now he's got a blown hammy, so we'll see when he gets back playing for Juventus. But again, I was a little bit taken aback, a little bit surprised saying that when he arrived, he was on the best physical condition. I don't think, maybe he wasn't the best, but I still feel like when I saw him out there, when I saw him performing, that he was doing some things better than a lot of the other Juventus players. And I was, again, not a guy that's been super high on bringing in Leandro Paredes this season, the last summer mercado. And then finally, we have one more comment, but he goes on to say Rabio can still improve. He's a player with a different engine compared to others. We know that Rabio is his son, and he will continue to play Rabio, so Rabio will have more than enough opportunities to prove that he can continue on this pace and maybe have a couple more, maybe braces, at least score some more goals throughout the rest of the season, maybe another brace, so we will see. Finally, his latest comments, he says, football is strange. Last year, we never scored so much. This year, we already have games of 2-2-0s, a 3-0, and today a 4-0. The greatest satisfaction is knowing that this team plays more as a team and interprets matches better. We play more vertically, which is positive, and then there's a desire not to concede goals. Finally, Benfica, we can overturn the result. We're not out of the Champions League yet, but we're not in the Europa League either. So there you go. Not in the Champions League. We're not out of it, but we're not all the way in the Europa League. So don't worry, guys, just yet. There's still, you tell me there's a chance. We'll see. They have that opportunity on Tuesday. Can they get it done? It'll be up to Max Allegri and the boys to prove that to the old lady. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below of everything we talked about here today. Do you agree with the points in the comments made by the players, by the coach? And then, of course, what are your thoughts about Leandro Paredes being out for the foreseeable, or not for the foreseeable future, but for a decent little period of time? Let me know in the comment section down below as well. If you haven't already, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon, stay notified for all of our latest videos. You can follow me at Justin Sofro on Twitter, and of course, you can follow Bianconerizone at Bianconerizone, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. We will see you guys next time. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri. Say hello to the old lady for me.